through from my BeLive studio over to OneStream, and it's there. So I can click start on Amazon Live, and it should be through on my iPad in a second, and then we can go live. Hopefully all this will happen before the countdown clock completes, and we are waiting patiently for Amazon Live to say go live, and it's saying go live. So we are 3, 2, 1. We are live on Amazon Live. Wonderful. Okay, I'm live on Amazon Live normally at 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. in the UK, but today, because I've done a show with Angelica, we're live at 10 a.m. Okay, so the explanation is I just did a broadcast with Angelica, German language broadcast at 9 a.m. Eastern. So here we are, 10 a.m. Eastern, and we're live on Amazon Live. Now, just to introduce you to one or two things, this is my hometown, which is Devizes in England, which is 93 miles away from London as the crow flies. And this, of course, was taken at Christmas. My thanks to Richard Edwards. This is a beautiful photograph. Richard Edwards Photos, the person who actually took this. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see the corn exchange lit up, and that's where local farmers used to come to sell their corn and their crops. Next to that is the Bear Hotel, which was a coaching inn. And then you've got in the square itself, you've got the statue. And of course, because it was Christmas, you've got a Christmas tree. So that's where I live in Devizes, beautiful town. It's in the middle of Wiltshire. It's close to, well, it's close to this place. We are close to Stonehenge. And one of the things that I enjoy doing at the weekend with Angelica, my partner, is going out and visiting interesting sites. And I think you've got to say that Stonehenge is one of the most interesting that we have in Wiltshire. It's about half an hour away from where we live, and I shall possibly play you a short video later. Okay, I've got two cameras working today. So my first camera is me, and my second camera, as you can see, is this one, which is the Oberspot Tiny, and it's centered on my desk at the moment, which looks a mess and it's not well lit, but it will be later on, I do assure you. So back to here, and also we're going to be looking at lights, camera, action. Okay, so this broadcast is all about webcams, audio gear, Fitbits, microphones, and live video. If you have any questions about anything that's on there, then please do ask during the course of this broadcast. This is a free resource brought to you by Amazon Live, and we're all independent broadcasters, all with different specialities, and we're here to help and to listen and to learn and to teach. Okay, now everything that's down in the carousel I use on a regular basis. If you click the link in the carousel, you're taken to the Amazon.com page, and that's where your journey begins, because you're not, when you click the link, you're not buying, you're actually investigating further, and that's the way that it works. Okay, and the final photograph in this setup is this one, which is where we're going to start. I watched a show 3 weeks ago with Marco Novo, my good friend in Portugal, and Daniel Zigman, who is, well, he works for Logitech. He's Mr. Logitech. And he was demonstrating Logitech cameras we know well, 920, 22, 25, 30 in the Brio. And he demonstrated this light. And I'm going to show you this light now, because I was so impressed by Daniel's demonstration of the light that I went out and I actually bought two. Okay, and it's just as well I did, because on the show today with Angelica borrowed one of the lights I'm about to show you, and the result was amazing. She was actually lit properly. Okay, because prior to that she'd been using room lighting. Okay, so let's come over to me, and first thing I'm going to do, you're going to say that it's a bit dark in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch on the light. Okay, So now I am better lit, and there's no room lights on at all. I've got the curtains closed, and the only light that's on is this one. And it is down in the carousel at the moment. It's the highlighted item, and this is the Logitech Litra light, okay, that Daniel was holding. Now, it's unobtrusive. Basically, well, let me tell you about it, and then you can decide for yourselves. When you get it, you've got cellophane around the base, and you have cellophane around the back. Just take that off, okay? You don't need to anything else than take those two pieces of cellophane off, and then plug this into a USB-A port on your PC or Mac, and switch it on. So what I need to do, just forgive me a moment, because I've been dismantling things, because as I said, Angelica borrowed this a moment ago, and I just realized, give me a second, I just realized that I haven't actually plugged it in. So I'm just going over, and nope, not that way. How is it when you're actually live? Okay, I'm better now. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I'm being lit by this light. I've got two of these. Angelica borrowed one, as I said a moment ago. Right, when you get it, basically, it comes like this. Okay, so this is the first light that Logitech have ever made. We know them for cameras. We know the reliability. This is the first light. Now, if you've not heard of it before, that's because it was only released in January 2022. So it's only 2 months old, 3 months old. Okay. When you take the light out of the box, it's like this. The first thing you do is you plug in the cable that's actually supplied with the light. So I'm going to put the cable in. I got that bit right. And you've then got the light ready to power on. Now, to power it on, you've got a button at the top. You switch it on, and that's it. You have light. Okay, now it's not too bright light. It's a soft light. Okay. You can control, okay, you can control the light, brightness, and the temperature by using the buttons on the back. Okay, now the thing is that if you put this light, you want to put this light onto your monitor or onto your computer, you can lift the shelf. Okay, that's pretty nifty, and it just hooks over your monitor. Mine is on my monitor in front of me, BenQ monitor, which is down in the carousel, 27-inch monitor, 3840 resolution, absolutely brilliant to use. Put that shelf up, pop it over the top of your monitor or your computer or your Mac. That's it. Okay, and you can switch it off again just by pressing, he said, just by pressing the switch. Okay, now as far as it goes, you can bend the light forwards. Okay, and this is very sturdy, and I've got mine probably about that angle looking down at me, and back up again, and I can turn it one way to the left, and I can turn it to the right. Okay, so you can get the angle that you actually want. Okay, now it takes a bit of practice. You're not going to do this straight away. Practice with the light, practice with how you look on screen, because the whole idea of having good lighting is that you're actually crystal clear on the screen, which I hopefully am at the moment. The other thing you can do with the light is you can extend it like so, and then adjust it. So you've got 4 settings like that. Okay, now it would be very impractical for me to start reaching over and adjusting the light during a live broadcast. Fortunately, Logitech have thought of everything, and they have some software that controls this light. I'm going to show you the software now. So the first thing I need to do is to actually put this light down. Okay, so I'm putting the light down. I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to share the software that controls the Logitech Litra light. Okay, so I'm going over to a window, and right now Logitech have had a piece of software called Logitech G Hub for gamers. G stands for gamers, and they've had it a long while, and they've added the light onto the facilities available within Logitech G Hub. So this light is controlled by software that's been around for quite some time. Let's bring that on screen, and I'm going to go here and bring it full screen first of all. Okay, so this is the software that controls the light that's up above me. So if I take it off full screen, well, first of all, I'll explain. It says light because it could equally well control your Logitech camera. It has underneath it the ability to switch it on and off, which I'll do in a moment. And then you've got 7 presets, which I'm going to go through. And then you can control as many liter lights as you've got through this software. Okay, so it's not just for controlling one light, but you only need one. Let's take that off full screen. Okay, and what I'm going to do, you know that this is lights, camera, action, so I'm going to hide that. You know that I live in devices. Okay, we're going to be visiting Stonehenge later in this broadcast. Okay, you can see the bit more light on my demonstration area. That's where my Obspot Tiny camera is. I'm going to switch that off. And as I say, this light, I actually bought it after watching a demonstration with Marco Novo, my good friend, and Daniel Zygmunt. I bought 2 of the lights. And this is how you control the light. So thank you, Daniel and Marco. And let's hide them. And let's go side by side. Okay, so you've got me here and you've got the software on the right. Okay, if I go to the software and I switch the light off, you'll see that I go darker. Now, the lighting I've got is acceptable, but somebody watching this live, a broadcaster watching this live would say, well, you can't be seen. So I'm going to switch the light back on again. Okay, so now you can see me again. There are 7 presets. I'm going to go through them. First of all, it is bright. Now, this is the brightest that the light goes, and this is a bit too bright for a live broadcast. So what I'm going to do is go back, and I'm going to go to the second setting, and we're going to get less bright as we go on. So this is cool or cozy daylight. So this is for daylight broadcasting. The next option on this software is mild, and I quite like that one. But you may see only a tiny difference here. But I am actually changing the lighting each time. And you've got the presets, and then you've got this one. Okay, now this one is, well, this is too much. Okay, now this is not a Logitech setting. This is a setting that I did. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go through and using the 2 bars, I can change the temperature. So I can ramp it down until I get to somewhere where about I'm happy, which is just on the cusp of those 2 really. If I let go now, and then I can change the brightness. Okay, and I can switch the light off, and then I can gradually increase the brightness, yeah, until I get to a level that I want. Okay, now I don't want to be too bright, but that's possibly too bright. So I'm going to go down, and release, and that's not too bad. Okay, but I am actually going to switch back to one of the presets because I'm still experimenting. So I'm going to go back to one of the presets, and it's this one. And this is cozy candlelight. Now the thing about the light is it's up on the monitor above me, but it's not affecting me. Okay, it's not blasting light out. It's a soft light, which means that I am reasonably well lit, but not to the extent that it's actually bothering me or glaring. Yeah, there's no glare. Okay, now lighting is a very important part of live broadcasting. You've got the camera, you've got the microphone, and you've got the lighting. You need to get all 3 of those in balance for your live broadcasting. When I say live broadcasting, I mean broadcasting on Zoom, where hundreds of millions have broadcasting in the last 2 years, and broadcasting as I'm doing today on YouTube, hello on YouTube, and on Amazon Live. You must get the lighting right. Now, it is a matter of experimenting. Okay, what you're trying to do is get to the stage where you are happy on camera, you're comfortable. Yeah, you need to be in a good place to actually broadcast live. Say hello to, right, and it's not shining on the glasses either. Good point, Peter. Good point. Thank you. Peter is my good friend in Aberdeen. He's currently watching us live on YouTube, which is why I can share the comment. And Peter is actually waiting. Have you got it yet, Peter? Are you still waiting for it? Peter ordered a litre of light, or maybe in the process of ordering a litre of light. I think he during the broadcast yesterday, to be honest. But it isn't reflecting on my glasses, which is good. You don't want that. Okay, good point, Peter. Thank you. Peter and I broadcast together every Thursday. Sorry, we do it early doors. We're based in the UK. Next week will be episode 321 of Blowing Forbidden. Peter and I have been broadcasting together for over 6 years, and we are famous friends. And I thank Peter for actually joining me on YouTube. Now, the lighting is so important. Getting it right is important. I used to have two great big soft boxes, great big gigantic things, one either side of me, and they belted light onto the wall and back. But there was no brightness control, there was no temperature control. It's just light onto the wall in front, reflected back, and for 3 years it worked. But the thing is about the soft boxes is they're made of fabric, and Angelica noticed that they were worse for wear, and I treat them well, but what we did is we took them off. Angelica said, you know, you've got a new desk, yeah, you need to resort your office, and they should go. And I said, okay, I will take them to the recycling center. I dismantled them and we took them to the recycling center. Be back with you in a moment, Peter. And I broadcast live for 3 weeks without lights until I saw the demonstration by Daniel. Okay, you remember Daniel, Sigmund, and Marco Novo? Until they demonstrated it, I didn't know about it. So I'm grateful to them. I'm going to go to Peter's comments as I hide that. So Peter is saying, okay, purchase them today. So Peter's got his Logitech litre light. This box is winging its way to Peter right now. Okay, shall I put the right side up, Pete? There you go. So it's the Logitech litre light. This is the box that it comes in. You take it out the box, 2 pieces of cellophane, plug it in, and then you go to Logitech.com and you download this software. Now, one thing you should know, you only need 1 litre of light. Peter's only buying one, I think. Okay, I'm only using one. I was using one earlier with Angelica, and Angelica was using one too. But this is the box. Okay, so you know what to look out for, and it's orange, you can't miss it. And mine came from Amazon in the UK. But there is one important point that I do want to mention. Okay, and can't say further than that, Peter. The cable, the USB to USB-C cable, must plug in directly to your PC or Mac for the software to work. If you don't plug it in directly, if you use a USB extension, then it will not work. Okay, but as you're only getting one of them, just plug it directly into your computer, and that's it. If you plug it directly into your computer, then the software will work. Okay, if you don't, software won't work. Okay, just an advisory on that. No, Peter's saying, would you recommend 2? No, I make do with 1. The only reason I have a second light is basically so that I can actually show you this on screen. And the other thing is that it goes on top of my Surface Book 2. And it's not lighting me, it's actually lighting my demonstration area. So 1 is more than sufficient to actually light, do good lighting. And over to Peter again. And Peter is saying, in order to stop the shadow, I think in order to stop the shadow, I just need to switch the room lights on. Okay, which I'm going to do in a moment. Next comment. Good to know. And that was in relation to plugging it directly into your computer. And next one. Are you using one at the moment? Yes, I am using one. I shall switch it off. Okay, I've gone dark. Okay, if I switch the light back on, I'm there. And I can change the temperature according to the time of day. Yeah, it's got 6 presets, which we saw a moment ago. And you can cycle through the presets. Do download, go to logitech.com, search for Logitech Litra, as it says on the box, Logitech Litra. And just a minute. It is, in fact, Logitech Litra Glow is the full name of it. Search for that on the logitech.com site. You'll find the software, download the software and install it. It will find your light straight away if you've got it plugged in to your computer. And then you can control the light using the software. Okay, so do plug it into your computer, download the software from logitech.com, and then you can do exactly as I'm doing at the moment, where from the software, you can switch the light off, switch it back on, and you can change the brightness of the light. Okay, that's a bit bright. So I'm going to go to my preferred setting down here. Okay, and I might just decrease the brightness a bit. Okay, so I'm in control. I can control how this looks. I'm going to take that down a bit. Okay, and it's all a question of practice. Okay, but Logitech Litra Glow, released in January 22, made by Logitech, and this has replaced 2 softboxes. You could spend hundreds of dollars, literally, on lighting. Just let me press the button. Okay, you could spend hundreds of dollars on lighting. This light, I think because this is the first time that Logitech have made a light, I can see them making a lot more. But this light, $59.99, I feel is a very fair price for the flexibility, for the software, the fact, oh, right, we said it going on your back of the monitor. Okay, the clincher is here. Okay, clincher is here. That what you can do is you can take the light off the stand that it's in. Okay, twist it, it comes off, and then you can attach it to a tripod stand. And if it's on the tripod stand, yeah, then you can position the light anywhere on your desking or anywhere you've got a long enough cable to actually do it. Okay, and that's it. That's the Logitech Litra light. You're watching it now. I can't say fairer than that. You've seen the experimentation I've been doing with changing the light levels and making sure that I'm looking reasonably good on camera. So you can swap. Okay, you can swap back as well. It works both ways. But ordinarily, I think the vast majority of us actually have it over the back of our monitor. And what it does is it just leans back and then you bend it forward or you bend it sideways. Yeah, so you can adjust the angle to get the best light. Now mine is on top of my BenQ monitor. It's at that angle. Okay, so the light is coming down from that light, and that's all I've got. And just to emphasize what it does, if I switch it off, I will go dark, and if I switch it back on, I will be well lit. And being well lit is very important, whether you're on a Zoom call or whether you're live broadcasting. So that's the Logitech Litra light. I'm going to put that back where it belongs in a moment, and I'm going to stop sharing the software, and I'm going to leave the software open because I may use it later on. Okay, so thank you for watching me on Amazon Live. I do appreciate you spending your time of day with me. The next item we're going to look at is a camera, and the camera we're going to look at is the Logitech C920x, which I just happen to have to hand over here. This is it. This is, let me just move that out of my eye line. This is the Logitech C920x. Now the X stands for extra. I'm going to explain what the extra is in a moment, but what I've got to say first of all about this camera, this is the ideal first camera, whether you're on Zoom or whether you're on the internet, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. This is the first camera that I bought when I started live broadcasting 6 years ago, and it's as new. Okay, I've had this camera for 6 years. It still works perfectly. It delivers at 1080p and 720p. Now, I'm not using, just a second, I'm not using this camera to broadcast to you today. Okay, it's not actually plugged in. Yeah, but it is probably the best first camera that anybody could buy. I know that a lot of my broadcasting colleagues, and I've met and made friends with hundreds of people around the globe through live broadcasting, most of my colleagues still use the C920x. They have no need to upgrade because it works. I've upgraded to the Logitech Brio, which you're watching now, for one reason. I want to broadcast in 4K. This camera does not do 4K, Logitech Brio does. And we'll be able to compare both those in a minute. But when you take the camera out of the box, all you need to do is actually open the jewels, and then it sits on top of your monitor like that, and you just adjust until you're actually looking directly at the camera comfortably. Okay, now I try and look at the camera most of the time, but occasionally I'm looking in the wrong place. Looking at the camera is a learned skill. Yeah, it's not something we're born with. Being able to look at the camera and look straight at you now is a learned skill. Okay, right, okay, back to the camera. So you can put it on top of your monitor, you plug it in to your PC. Now, I've got two cameras already plugged in, as you'll see, so I haven't got this one plugged in today. It is 720 and 1080p, and let's just go through a couple of its features before I move on. The X does stand for extra, okay, and it's full 1080p, 30 frames per second. The higher the P value, which stands for pixel, the better the quality of the video. Now, I'm broadcasting you at 720 now, which is a stipulation from Amazon, so I can't show any of the cameras at their best, but I mean, 720p is DVD quality, 1080p is high definition. Okay, and 4K, well, 4K will blast your socks off. I mean, I did a 4K broadcast, which I'll talk about later. Just staying with this camera at the moment. It's got the lens in the middle and then twin stereo microphones. They are omnidirectional, so they will pick up every sound that's around you. Be aware of that. Now, I'll tell you about some software later, which will help with that. Most cameras now have HD light correction. So if you've no lights at all, they will try their best to still be able to show you on camera properly. Okay, and I'm also going to be showing you this later. Okay, as we saw with the lights, hardware works better when there's a software package with it. And with all Logitech cameras, once you've bought them, you can download from logitech.com a program called Logitech Capture. And I'm going to show you what that program can do when we talk about the Brio. Okay. And low light compensation, we've talked about that. I'm coming towards the end. 78 degrees field of view. Now, that's how wide it can see. Yeah. The cameras we're looking at later have got a wider field of view, which means they can show more. And this camera, I know I've said about this 6 years, but the latest version of this camera was released on March 31st, 2020. So that's the one. It's not a 6 years old one, but yeah. Now, one thing you can do, you've got it on top of your monitor, but if you want to, I'll notice a comment with you in a moment. Thank you. If you want to, you can turn this camera upside down and you'll notice that there is a thread there, and you can then take your trusty tripod, which we met earlier, and you can screw the tripod. I'm not going to do it live because my live demonstrations are not best in the world. You can actually put it on top of the stand, and then you can position it anywhere on your desking, just as you could with Logitech Litra Lite. So you actually need two of these, one for the light, one for the you don't. Okay, so with this, you can actually, it doesn't, you can have a small tripod like this, you can have a big tripod. Okay, you're in control, but you can put this camera on a tripod. Okay, now, this is, just give me a second. I don't want to miss anything. I think I've got everything. We are talking about the Logitech C920x. Now, the X stands for extra, and the extra is a program called XSplit VCam, which is quite probably the best background removal software that I've ever seen. I've been using it since January 2019. I've got an annual subscription to XSplit because of the quality of their software. And the Logitech C920x gives you 3 months subscription to XSplit VCam. Now, the best way to actually explain what background removal is to actually show you. So somewhere down in my carousel, I'm going to, is this. Okay. And I'm going to put this on screen. Just give me a second. I'm still here, by the way. Just give me a second. Basically, what I'm going to go down here is I'm going to find what I'm looking for. And if I don't find what I'm looking for, I may be a while, but I'm still here. Just wait a minute. And I've lost it. I found it. Okay, so I'm going to take that off. This is all terms of preparation. Okay, I need to go here and switch that off. And I need to go here. Oh, wait a minute. I want that. Just a minute. Right, that's gone. Okay, still here and still talking and still looking for something. And I'm going to show it on screen. If it right, okay. I'm going to change that slightly so you can actually watch the video and not be too interrupted by the text underneath. We got there in the end. I am now ready to show you a video all about XSplit VCam. Let's take it away, shall we? Okay, let's go. Is here to give you an overview of XSplit VCam, how it works. Background removal tool I've been using since January 2019, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now, the image behind me is one of Salisbury Cathedral, and the acid test of any background removal tool is that you still have 10 fingers with little webbing between them. Okay, so that test passed. Second is the outline of your body. Those are the things to look for when you're looking at a green screen, the ability to actually move about. So let's take a look at the software itself. And this is the XSplit VCam program. Okay, now you notice the top there, it says original. This is me. This is also me. So this is how I look normally. Now, first stage is to actually remove the background. So let's remove the background by pressing a button, and I get background's gone. Okay, prove that if I go here, background has disappeared. Okay, so the next step is to select a background to go in place, and you can do that just by clicking an image. You'll get a different background. Okay, that's it. That's very colorful. Now, just a warning, you need to make sure that the image at the top is not too light. Okay, what you don't want is to have an image too light at the top. If you try it, you'll see what I mean. Okay, now XSplit VCam is an external program which you download from XSplit, and it sits on your computer and you can use it in this way. Okay, so over to one of my favorite backgrounds. So I'm just switching background. Now, if I go to here, you can actually see that I can get backgrounds from several sources. I can upload a media file. Okay, and I'm going to upload a media file. I'm going to go on my hard drive to artwork and to reduced. Okay, and I'm going to bring up this image, and that's it. That's how easy it is to take an image from your hard drive and bring it on screen. Second thing you can do is you can run a YouTube video. Now I can show you a sample. The second thing you can do in terms of backgrounds is that you can play a YouTube video in the background whilst you're live on Zoom, and that will blow everybody away. Basically, go to YouTube, find a video that you like, get the YouTube link, and you can bring it into your XSplit VCam software and select it as a background, and it will play in the background. Now I've got one of Stars, which is a brilliant video which I created on InVideo, and the stars move whilst I'm live. Now I don't play it for hours, but I do play it for 10 minutes or so just to give an atmosphere. So live video, going live with XSplit VCam with a moving background, you can use a YouTube video. Now, two things to bear in mind. One, if it's your own video, not a problem. You can use any of your own videos. But if you're using somebody else's video, then it has to be public and it has to be free of copyright. Okay, and the way you can tell this is if you take the link for the video, bring it into XSplit and it plays, then you can use it. If you take the link and put it into XSplit, it doesn't play, and you've got to go on to the next video. So do be aware of copyright. And the final thing, the video playing in the background has no sound. Yeah. The next place you can get your images from is from a web page. You can share any web page in your background that you want. You're in total control. It can be a news website, it can be anything, but do acknowledge do tell people which website you've got in the background. If it's yours, it's not a problem, but if it's somebody else's, it's just acknowledge that it's somebody else's. Okay. And the final place you can actually get backdrops from is from a place called unsplash.com, which I may have down. Just let me stop that for a moment. Okay, so I may have it down in my carousel, in my agenda. If you go to unsplash.com, this is where photographers from around the world have sent in their best images. Okay, and you can choose an image, you can download it and have it as part of your XSplit VCam setup. In fact, from an XSplit VCam, you can actually search for an image. Yeah. Now, because of the fact that I'm supposed to be live, I cannot show you the full video of XSplit VCam, but you can watch it on YouTube. If you go and you search for me, in fact, if you search for Stephen and XSplit, you'll find the full video and you can watch the full video, which is a full how-to. Okay, so I've just played you a segment of it. Okay, over to YouTube for the full video. Now, coming back to me, when I take a video from unsplash.com, what I do, I'm just hiding that, what I do is I send out a tweet as a thank you. You've got the ability to share the image. I share the image to Twitter, and basically that means that I win because people know I'm using the image, and the photographer is acknowledged for the fact that they supplied it, and you can use it free. It's absolutely brilliant. There are also paid images there as well, but you've got a free choice. You can either use the free images and just say thank you, or you can use a paid image, pay for it, and use it. Now, Peter and I, this Peter, okay, Peter and I have actually gone to Etsy, ETSY, which we all know, and on Etsy, yeah, you can type in Etsy Ukraine, and you can buy an image in support of the people of Ukraine and use that as your background. Okay, so that's another way you can actually get an image, and both Peter and I have got involved in that. I've got a question coming in from YouTube, and it says, wait a minute. Okay, I've got the original Are you, just a minute, I've got to go back a bit. Peter said, are you using one at the moment? And then the next question is from Ebby, have you the URL to pay? I don't know. Ebby, thank you for joining me. I don't, if you could type a little bit more, because I'm not sure exactly which of the items I've been looking at that you're talking about. So have you URL to pay place? Don't know. Don't know. If you could tell me a little bit more, then I'll answer your question. Thank you, everybody who's watching me on Amazon Live. Thank you. And I wanted to say a big thank you to Sandra Kalu. Sandra Kalo. My apologies, Sandra. I want to say thank you to Sandra for actually watching me live today. I do appreciate you spending part of your day with me, and hopefully I'm actually helping in your buying decisions on Amazon.com today. Okay, so I'm just chuffed. I've got to be honest. I mean, I'm in Wiltshire in England and I'm able to broadcast on Amazon.com. You're watching me live now. I love the technology and I love Amazon.com. I love being able to talk to you. If you have any questions about anything that's down the carousel, then please do ask. Okay, so that is down the carousel, left-hand side at the moment. Logitech C920x camera comes with a long cable. And it also comes with XSplit VCam, which means that you can do background removal. Yeah. Now, as far as background removal is concerned, most of the people who provide background removal software say this: you can use our software without a green screen. You can, and you'll look okay. But if you want to get near perfect to perfect, you need a green screen. If you don't have a green screen, what happens is this: you get an outline of your head, and your hair will blow in a non-existent breeze, especially if you've got a light background at the top. Never have a light background at the top, okay, because your hair moves. It can't help itself. Okay, I remember I got a video of a picture of Stonehenge, and I put that as a backdrop, and the sky was very light that day, and my hair was blowing in the breeze. Okay, so just be aware of that fact, that dark backgrounds work better, and it works better with a green screen. Now, down in the carousel is the Logitech green screen, which you can see in front of you. I'm just highlighting it now. The green screen behind me, if I zip out a bit, I need a bit of software, just a minute. I need a bit of software. Okay, I'll be back in a second. I'm just getting the software loaded, and I've got it now. Okay, and just let me shrink that. If I go wide angle, like so, and zoom out a bit, okay, you can now see my office. Okay, the green screen, the Logitech green screen, is behind me, and it's actually propped up against the wall. You can get a stand for it as well. Now, I got it with the stand, and I started to use it, and then I realized I didn't need the stand. I could just prop it up against the back wall. So let's zoom in again, because zooming is good, because when I zoom in, you haven't got the faintest idea what's behind me. Okay, and I just need to go that way. No, wrong way, that way. Not that way. Now you can see the chess set. I'll settle for that. So a green screen is the difference between looking okay and looking near perfect. Yeah. And I'm going to try something now. This may or may not work. I've got to warn you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use some background removal software, and this may or may not work. But let's have a go for it. It's Friday afternoon in the UK, and I'm just going to go here on my hard drive, and I'm going to pick an image. Okay, now, okay, I am going to disappear. Yeah, it's not a promise, it's just an actual fact. the green screen software is working away at the moment, and I will momentarily in 3. Okay, so this is the green screen software, and because I've got a green screen, you can see it's filled in the top right hand corner. Okay, and I can actually show you 10 fingers. Yeah, and there is no line around. I'm not perfectly lit, so my hair is, that's what I meant about the hair moving and the tearing. You've got to light it properly, and I haven't lit it properly, so I'm just showing you what can be done. I mean, I'm doing this live, which is, and I should be back. Okay, so that's basic how quick it is to actually put green screen software, background removal software, green screen software, same thing. And basically you can use the background to actually change the mood, but you do need the Logitech green screen, which is down in the carousel at the moment. It is $74.99. It's reversible, so it's green this side, it's blue the side. You can scrunch it, yeah, and when you scrunch it, you can fold it, and then you can put it in the bag. Now, I've got to be honest here, there is a video on YouTube that tells you how to do it, because it's like wrestling a tiger. Yeah, whatever you do, the green screen goes its own way. So do watch the video on YouTube about how to fold up a green screen. I don't need to, because I never move mine. But the thing to be aware of is, because this green screen is portable, yeah, you can use this green screen not only for your broadcasts on Zoom or on the web, you can use this for photography. Okay, so you can pack this up, take it to a family gathering, put it up against the wall and say, right, stand in front of there, I'll take your photograph with my mobile phone. And then you've got a picture of them against the green screen. But then you go back to your desktop computer, you load up the picture, you load up your favorite software, and you can put the people in the picture on the top of Mount Everest if you want. So it's brilliant for green screen photography. So 2 uses, broadcasting, green screen photography. So that's why a green screen, it does make a difference. And I'm trying to get back to where I was a moment ago. Okay, you can still see the chess set. If you want to challenge me to a game of chess, then please do. The odds are that you would actually win. Thank you for watching me live on Amazon Live and spending your time of day with me. Thank you to Sandra for following me. You've helped to make my day. Followers are golden. I'll explain why. As far as Facebook is well, as far as Amazon Live is concerned, they look at every single broadcast that we do, but also they look at the number of people following us. And when somebody follows you, that improves how Amazon view the live broadcaster. From your point of view, if you follow somebody, then you can go to the following tab at the top of this page, and you can see everybody you followed, and you can then watch them. It's like putting together your own TV guide, yeah, because you're picking your favorite Amazon Live shows and putting them in, you're grouping them, and you can go and watch people live. You can go and watch people's last replay just by clicking them in the following tab, which is up above. I mean, we are independent broadcasters. We don't work for Amazon. Okay, we do this because we love doing it. When we talk about the items in the carousel, it's because we actually have knowledge of them and use them. You've got the ability, watching live, to actually pick our brains and ask questions. If you ask a question, I'll do my best to answer it. If I can't, then I'll answer it in my next broadcast. Yeah, I'm here to help. Okay, all the broadcasters, they're here to help you get the best out of Amazon.com. If you've got any questions about lights, camera, and action, then please do ask, and I will do my best to answer. Okay, and the thing that you can do, which Sandra has done, is, if you're enjoying my broadcast, please do press the follow button, because that helps us both. Okay, and if you've got any questions, to ask. Okay, now what we're going to go on to now, we've done the green screen. We're going to go on to the camera that you're actually watching now. and you are watching the Logitech Brio. Now, the reason I'm mentioning the Logitech Brio is it's 17% off today. So this camera is 17% off today. It's 165.23. I bought this camera about 2 years ago. I bought it to replace the Logitech C920, and I bought it because it's a 4K camera. And very quickly, I'm just going to show you one or two salient points. The reason I've got a crib sheet next to me, and you'll find out this when you actually do presentations similar to this. Oh, just before I go there, if you think that you'd like to be on my side of the screen, yeah, and you'd like to be presenting on Amazon.com, then I run a training group on Facebook called Live Video Sales, and you're more than welcome to join us and learn about how you can broadcast on Amazon Live. I broadcast every weekday for 30 minutes, talking about Amazon Live, talking about marketing on Facebook, talking about how to get the best broadcast together, how to structure it. So if you want to be my side of the camera, then you can. All it takes is time, patience, and the will to win. Okay, you can do it if you want. You can come on my side of the camera, and I'll come and watch you. Yeah, I watch quite a few broadcasters on Amazon Live. I'm learning. We're all learning. You've got if you go to anybody's show, you find we've all got different ways of actually presenting. And I find it endlessly fascinating. I'm always learning from my fellow Amazon Live broadcasters. Okay, so the reason I've got this crib sheet talking about Logitech Brio, which you're watching now, and there's no greater thing than actually be able to see it. You're actually seeing it live, lit by Logitech Litra Light, of course, is that it's an Ultra 4K video. Now, in terms of live broadcasting, there are different resolutions we can go out in. I'm broadcasting you at 720p on a camera that can do 4K. Okay, the camera can do 4 times better than it's doing at the moment. It can give 4 times the resolution. It can actually show it can show everything clearer. Yeah, I did a video. I used XSplit Broadcaster, just me on screen, and I broadcast live to YouTube. Now, YouTube is one of the places where we can broadcast in 4K. Yeah. And I went straight from XSplit Broadcaster, just me on screen, to YouTube, and the quality difference between 720 and 4K is absolutely stunning. Yeah. Now, we can't broadcast everywhere in 4K. Facebook says 720, Twitch says 1080, Twitter says, depends on the day, but 720, 1080. 4K is YouTube. Now, just a thing here, technical thing. When you're watching a video on YouTube, you'll notice bottom right-hand corner is a cog, a settings cog. By default, all videos are in 720p or 1080p. If you want to watch a video in 4K, yeah, then what you need to do is click that cog and change the resolution to 4K. Then you can watch it in 4K. Yeah. If you don't click the button, you won't be seeing the video in its full glory. But I bought this camera, the Logitech Brio, because of the Ultra 4K, and I'm using it. The next thing about the Logitech Ultra is it's got a noise cancelling microphone. This is important. It's got an omnidirectional microphone, which means it could pick up noises from everywhere. Yeah. So if the cat meows or the dog barks, it will be on your video. Okay, noise cancelling software, one job in life, to make sure that the only thing that gets heard is your voice. Yeah. So the microphone, if you use the microphone, then it will cancel all the background noises for you. As I said earlier, when looking at C920, there is auto light correction. So if I switch off my light now, yeah, then it goes darker, and the camera is compensating. That's why you can still see me. If I go back again, switch the light on, you can see that the light, it's better to have a light than not. But if you don't have a light, then the auto light correction will work. On to the next point, wide field of view. We saw that with the Logitech C920, it had a 78-degree field of view. Yeah. The Brio has a 90-degree field of view. I'm trying to do 90, but I'm just trying to give the impression of C920 there and the Brio there. So it's got a 90-degree field of view. Okay, which is, as you can see, as you saw earlier, will show you the full my office behind me, behind this green screen. Some people watching this broadcast have actually seen what's behind this green screen. They know the secret. They know the bookshelf. They know, yeah, okay, how untidy my office is. That's my job for this weekend, to actually tidy it up. So it's, as I said earlier, this is 4 times the resolution of a typical camera. So we are talking about the camera I'm using now, which is Logitech Brio 4K camera, which is capable of broadcasting 4K. Now, as you probably gathered if you've been watching this video for a little time, I love the fact that the hardware providers actually provide software for actually running the hardware. Logitech are no exception to this. I showed you earlier the Logitech Litra Lite, okay, and the software that controls this. Now I'm going to show you the software that controls every single Logitech camera, including the Brio. So I'm going to take that off screen. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen. This might take a second, but it'll be worth it. Just hang on a second. Oh, wow. We got it first time. Just a moment. Just a second. Give me a second. Okay, as I tried to explain, I'm actually broadcasting live on Amazon at the moment. I'm back. Okay, now you may have heard part of that. I have a cataract operation on Sunday, and the medical centre just phoned me to actually check the details. And what do? You're broadcasting live on YouTube and Amazon. You've got to take the phone call. So hopefully didn't disturb things too much, but thank you for staying with me. And I think technically what I should do, basically, it's totally thrown me. Thrown while I'm live on Amazon. I did try to explain, but she didn't understand that I was actually broadcasting live. Such as things. Okay, so you're actually looking at Logitech Brio, and what I'm going to do for my final thing of today is I'm going to go here and I'm going to gather my senses whilst I do. I'm going to share my screen. I think I already did that bit, so bring that up on screen. This is the software that controls the Logitech Brio, and in fact it controls every camera. Yeah, so I'm going to come back on screen next to the software. I'm going to hide the photograph that I showed you a moment ago. I'm going to hide the video that I played, and there we have it. So next to me is the software that actually controls this camera. If you go to logitech.com, and thank you for staying with me. If you go to logitech.com and you search for Logitech Capture, then basically everything is controlled. Download the software, it will recognize your camera, and you can start using it straight away. Right, okay, so Logitech Capture, download it. Basically then you can zoom in using the software. So I can zoom in, okay, and I can zoom quickly out again until you get to the stage where you're happy on camera. Okay, I can, if I go here, and I'm going to change the settings in a moment, do forgive me, to that. So we're now side by side and wide, and I'm going to take that off screen. Okay, if I use the software, I can go to one side, I can go to the other, okay, and come back again. I can go up and I can go down. I can go different degrees, so let's come to 78 degrees, 90 degrees, 78 degrees, and 65. There are 3 different fields of view. I prefer to broadcast on 78. Okay, thank you for watching me live. Thank you for staying with me. Or 90. Yeah, so 90 shows you more of my office. 78 is tight on me, and you don't even know I've got the office behind me. Okay. Also, with the software, if I go to advanced, then I can change the brightness level. So I can go totally bright, which is not a good look, or I can go totally dark and you can't see me, or I can go in between. Now, what you're doing here is you're adjusting the software to suit you. Yeah, you're deciding how you're going to look on screen. That's the whole purpose of this, using the software that comes from Logitech to control the camera so that you're happy with how you look on screen. Next, you can change the contrast. Okay, so that's not what I ever really use. I leave that on 50%, which is a default. I can change the color, so I can go bright red, or I can go sepia, or I can go back to 50%, which is a default. Auto white balance, that's too far, isn't it? Let's come back a bit, come back even further. Let's go there. That's not bad. And switch auto white balance off. Okay, so now you've got me. So the thing here is that when you get the camera, you can just plug and play. There's no reason to actually get the software other than the fact that you can change the way you look on camera by using the software. Yeah, no software, the camera decides how you could look. With the software, you decide how you can look. The software, if you bought a Logitech C920, 922, 925, 930, or a Brio, which is what you're watching now, then you can download Logitech Capture and take control of your Brio camera. And the Brio camera, as we said, is towards the top of the range of Logitech cameras. You can have 3 field of view presets and up to 90 frames per second. I'm broadcasting to you at 30 frames per second. Okay. Now, thank you for staying with me. I do appreciate it. And we've taken a phone call from the hospital whilst I was live, which is the first. I will see you, and I'll be able to see you better on Monday. After the cataract operation, I shall be back live here on Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern. I wish you a wonderful weekend. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. You who've been watching, if I go here, just a moment, and here, you who've been watching Stephen live from Wiltshire, England. It's been my pleasure to be here today. I always enjoy broadcasting Amazon Live. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. Take care. And I'll see you all again soon.